Allow me engage the gentleman from the Buganda Land Board, the Deputy CEO, Mr. Bashir Juma Kizito. We spoke about, and very passionately by the way, the financing issue. It seems you have a particular blueprint that Buganda has put together that should be able to allow for attaining this particular objective. But the narrative I'm really concerned about is the aspect of willing buyer and willing seller. When that transaction is being conducted, yes, we know somebody has accepted to sell and another one is willing to buy. But the circumstances of the sale of land usually are controversial. Some people are coerced into it, some others are manipulated, others are misled. And it's after these transactions have been done that conflict emerges. And somebody is like, but here we are. We have an agreement and I bought the land, it's now mine. This one claims I was unfairly taken advantage of because I am illiterate. I signed documents that I didn't have no idea about, or they were totally misrepresented. How might that affect your goal of ensuring that people can actually go about transacting, selling and buying?
Thank you very much, moderator. The option is part of what the National Land Policy provides as a solution for mutual existence between the landowners and the tenants on the land. But that is not the first instance where value or consideration is an issue. How should it be sorted? We think that government shouldn't just do one thing, providing a solution, but rather it can go a step further and provide regulations of how this transaction should happen. You've raised very pertinent issues of how this transaction usually ends up into a conflict, and which can be sorted easily by providing a clear roadmap of how it should be. Right from establishing the value of the land, what is adequate, what is fair, that can be guided by government. Then the negotiations, that still can be guided by an elaborate system, a set of regulations, without necessarily going into the economy or trying to manage the market forces. But we're talking about a procedure that will allow a free flow of market forces such that the buyer, willing seller can ably work for these two players on my land. But even rising away from security of tenure being the absolute ownership of these rights, we can say that even when the two coexist, still financing is needed to make people feel safe. When we talk about security of tenure, it's not just having absolute rights, but rather, what does the common man think about security of tenure? They should feel safe that when they're on the land, they are not going to be under any threat. That is one. They should feel that they are recognized by the neighborhood and the whole environment, that their existence is known and protected by the neighborhood and the laws in the place. Then three, that they can use their status to enjoy from their rights. Now, and this is what we are doing as Buganda Land Board. The tenants on cultural land don't have to own my land titles. On the contrary, they can exist as tenants who can get leaseholds, or who even can stay as lawful occupants on the land. But they can access finance so they can improve their livelihoods. If they want to get leaseholds, we are aware of the socio-economic realities when they're saying having a land title is quite expensive. So let's provide for a situation where somebody can pay in the bank for over 4 or 5 years, and in return they can get a land title. But even in the process, when they don't have the land title yet, the bank recognizes them as people who are holding land titles because of the engagement that has happened between the bank and the Buganda Land Board. And we're saying government should preach more of that, how they can facilitate people into this security of tenure discussion.
Okay.
But back to the theme of the day, I totally agree that there is need for review of land laws and policies in the country. Some of these laws are very colonial. We are looking for Generation Z questions and challenges to be sorted by solutions coming from the colonial
that are
times.
still buried in 1940.
That is not okay. You're having RT, the Registration of Titles Act, that came into place in 1924. What solutions is it providing to date? We are looking at the Surveyors Act that came into place in 1939, and we are merging it with new technology. Most of the things we are doing are not even enabled by law. So we're saying it shouldn't take quite a lot to have some of these amendments. Okay. It is high time we amend the Registration of Titles Act. It is high time we review and amend the Surveyors Act. It is high time to amend the Surveyors Registration Act. These are very close laws to the transactions in land today, and it is a shame that we are still relying on them, and they were made for those colonial times.